Former Labor Cabinet Minister Stephen Conroy has ruled himself out as the potential replacement as Australia's next ambassador to the United States. He was touted as one of the potential frontrunners for the role alongside former Cabinet Minister Joel Fitzgibbon. Other names that are said to be in the mix include the recently returned ambassador from Japan, Justin Hayhurst, and the current Department of Defence Secretary Greg Moriarty. Yesterday we heard from former Foreign Minister Alexander Downer. He says that the PM should opt for a public servant as the next ambassador rather than a former politician. Kevin Rudd will be stepping back from the role at the end of March. I want to get reaction now from National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie. Bridget, this caught my eye. Joe Hockey, one of the other former ambassadors, replied to Peter Fitzsimons, of all people, on Twitter, who floated Peter Dutton as a good option. Joe Hockey saying it's a good idea. President Trump has 3 years to go. Put Australia first. So Joe Hockey putting forward Peter Dutton, a name I don't think many people think might be in contention.
Well, Peter Dutton's worked very successfully in government and in opposition with the US administration under both Biden and President Trump. And so I think he does have a lot of good relationships there in our closest ally. So let's hope the government picks a US ambassador that will put our nation's interests first and will foster a positive and successful cohesive relationship with the United States as our key partner.
Bridget, today marks the 1 month anniversary from the Bondi terror attack. Next week we will see Parliament return here. Ahead of that, though, the coalition's already splintering on whether to support the hate speech laws. Your colleague Matt Canavan saying the hate speech changes Labor's putting forward are undemocratic, unconstitutional and vague. What's your view on what you've seen so far?
Well, we've seen over 500 pages dumped out for public consultation. Experts and stakeholders are rushing to get across the detail of what is quite a complex area of policy. And as what's disappointing, I think, with the government's response is whether it was marriage equality, The Voice, even Mabo, governments of both sides, when we've had legislation of national significance such as this response should be, we've allowed it to go through parliamentary processes subject to scrutiny of the full parliament and the public before putting it to a vote so that we can get the response as right as possible. The Prime Minister's failed to do that in this case. We've got a rushed inquiry in our Intelligence and Security Committee. Your viewers would have seen yesterday's public hearing, the department being unable to answer simple questions about how the hate laws would work using specific examples, which doesn't fill us with a lot of confidence. But we're going to approach this, in good spirits and with our best foot forward. But at the end of the day, we've got to get to see that inquiry. I've been getting a lot of feedback, obviously, from firearm owners, which I'm happy to discuss. But, yeah, there are a lot of concerns about the legislation as it stands, particularly the Prime Minister's decision to put migration law changes, gun law changes, free speech changes into the same bill. I think that's giving people a lot of cause for concern.